We'll solve numerical problems on three-phase induction motors losses efficiency, followed by numerical problems on equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Okay, so now here let us see the first problem on numerical problem on losses and efficiency. So the here statement here is problem statement is a three-phase four-pole 50 hertz induction motor running on full load develops a useful torque of 300 Newton meter. The rotor EMF is completing 120 cycles per minute. If torque lost in friction is 50 Newton meter, calculate first one slip, second net output power, third rotor copper loss per phase, fourth rotor efficiency, fifth rotor resistance per phase if rotor current is 60 ampere in running condition. So this is one of the VTU question which is asked for 10 marks. Okay, so here let us write all the given parameters in the solution part. So given is the three-phase induction motor having number of poles P equal to 4, its frequency F equal to 50 hertz, and shaft torque TSH is 300 Newton meter, that is useful torque. Then the lost torque because of friction and all, that is T lost is equal to 50 Newton meter, 50. Okay, so now let us calculate rotor frequency. Rotor frequency that is equal to 120 cycles per minute. For per minute means 120 divided by 60 we need to take, then it will be getting converted into cycles per second. Cycles per second is nothing but the frequency, that is nothing but in terms of hertz. So now here 120 by 60 means that will be the rotor frequency denoted by the term f to the suffix small r, rotor frequency. So during running condition, rotor frequency is smaller than the stator frequency, which is equal to simply 2 hertz, whereas stator frequency is 50 hertz, that is power supply frequency. So now with all these information, now let us calculate the first parameter. First parameter you should calculate slip here. So first one is FR. We know that rotor frequency is equal to slip times of the stator frequency, that is FR is equal to S into F. So now here we want to calculate slip S. So from this I can write slip S is equal to FR by F, where FR is the rotor frequency and F is the normal power supply frequency or stator frequency. So which is going to be 2 upon 50, that is equal to 0.04. This is the absolute slip, and in order to convert this into percentage, just multiplied by 100, so you will be getting 4% slip. So slip value is S is equal to 4%. After this, now let us calculate the rotor copper loss per phase. So in order to calculate rotor copper loss per phase, now here the steps are: first we will calculate P out. So P out is equal to output power. P out is equal to shaft torque into angular velocity or the speed, that is omega, that is equal to TSH into, where omega is given by 2 pi n by 60. But now we know that rotors or the induction motor speed n is given by the slip equation ns into 1 minus s, where s is already we have calculated as 0.04. So now at slip s is equal to 0.04. So synchronous speed ns is equal to 120 f by p. So 120, if frequency is 50 hertz, this is the stator or the supply frequency, divided by number of poles are 4. So after solving, we are getting synchronous speed ns value as 1500 rpm. 1500 rpm. Now let us calculate the speed of the induction motor or rotor. So n is equal to, using this formula, n is equal to ns into 1 minus s, where ns is 1500 into 1 minus slip is 0.04. So with this we'll be getting speed of the induction motor as 440 rpm. Okay, so now let us calculate the output power. Output power is nothing but what? This is nothing but TSH into omega, where TSH is shaft torque, that is 300 into 2 pi n by 62 pi. N value is this is 1140. 1140, make the correction. Okay, so 1140 divided by 60. So here 1 is missing. Actually, the answer here for n is 1140. So the same value of 1140 we should substitute in place of n here, where on solving we'll be getting P out is equal to 45.2389 kilowatts. So this is the output power. Finally, we know that shaft torque is net available torque available to the load at the shaft. Yes or no? So this is nothing but the output torque which is available at the load side. So therefore, P out is equal to 45.2389 kilowatts. Okay, so this is all about the second parameter, that is uh, what is that? Net output power. Net output power P out is equal to 45.2389. Now let us calculate rotor copper loss per phase, that is I square R losses. So losses at the rotor side. In order to calculate that, let us see the explanation here. So the lost torque because of the friction is equal to T lost is equal to 50 Newton meter in friction, and therefore frictional loss is equal to T lost power because of the frictional loss, P frictional you can call it as. So this is nothing but T into omega. T here is T lost, and that is torque loss due to the friction into speed, angular speed, that is omega. So therefore T lost into 2 pi n by 60. So power lost because of the friction, T lost is nothing but torque because of the friction is 50, and speed of the induction motor is 1140. So power lost because of the frictional loss is 7539.822 watts. Okay, so now we know that power P out is equal to Pm minus frictional loss. So this is all because of the some losses. What is that? P out power at the rotor's output power at the rotor side is equal to gross mechanical power minus frictional loss. This is already familiar to us using the power flow diagram of the three-phase induction motor. So where from this equation I can write P out is equal to P out plus frictional losses. So already we have calculated the P out. P out is 45.2389 kilowatts. So that value 45.2389 here you can substitute, and frictional loss already we have calculated. The frictional loss is 75.39822 watts. So on solving we will be getting Pm is equal to 52.77872 kilowatts. Okay, so this is the gross mechanical power Pm. And now we know that from the relationship between P2, PC and PM, we know that P2 is to PC is to PM is 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. So now using this equation, now I can write PC by PM, ratio of copper loss to the gross mechanical power, that is PC by PM. PC by PM is equal to is S upon 1 minus S. So S upon 1 minus S. So now from this equation I can write PC is equal to cross multiply S into PM upon 1 minus S. Okay, so now substitute all the values. PM is 52.77872, then slip is 0.04. This is kilowatts. PM is in terms of kilowatts, and S is 0.04. And after solving, we are getting the rotor copper loss as 2199.1134 watts. So this is all about the rotor copper loss. So this is the third parameter. After this, we need to calculate the fourth parameter. Fourth parameter is the rotor efficiency. Rotor efficiency means rotor output by rotor input. So in order to calculate the rotor efficiency, and after that PC, this is the copper loss. And if you want to calculate for per phase copper loss means just you should divide this by the 3, because this is the total copper loss for all the three phases, that is 2199.1134. And if you divide this by 3, then you will be getting rotor copper loss per phase, that is PC by 3. Rotor copper loss per phase, that is equal to PC by 3, that is equal to 2199.1134 divided by 3, that is equal to 733.0378 watts. So this is rotor copper loss for per phase. Then we should calculate fourth parameter, rotor efficiency. We know that efficiency is nothing but rotor output by rotor input. So output is PM, that is gross mechanical power, and rotor input is P2, that is input to the rotor, in 200, in just to get in terms of percentage. So now we know that P2 value is rotor input. P2 is nothing but PC by S. So this we have already studied, just because of the equation P2 is to PC is to PM is equal to 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. Based on that, here I can write copper loss is equal to PC is equal to slip times of the rotor input, that is P2. So therefore P2 rotor input is nothing but what? Already we have calculated PC. PC value is 2199.1134. This is the total copper loss for all the three phases of the three-phase induction motor, and slip value is 0.04. So therefore we will be getting the rotor input as 54,977.8358 watts. So this is the rotor input. So finally we will calculate the efficiency of the rotor. So therefore percentage rotor eta is equal to rotor output by rotor input. Rotor output, this is nothing but PM. This value is nothing but PM, and this is P2, and this is P2. Okay, so PM value is already we have calculated. What is the value of the PM here? So the value of PM already we have calculated this as uh, 52,778.8358 778, 52,778. Let us check where is that value here. 52,778. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so PM is nothing but 52,778. That is nothing but this PM value. Okay, so this is PM, that is 52,700, 52 point, not 52,000, 52.77872 kilowatts. This is the output, and input is P2. P2 value is 54,977.8358 just in terms of watt. Okay, just watts it is. In 200 if you do, then you will be getting rotor efficiency eta is equal to 96%. So this is the fourth parameter. And the last parameter we should calculate the rotor current. What is that last parameter we need to calculate here is fifth one, rotor resistance per phase if rotor current is 60 ampere in running condition. So here you should calculate rotor resistance IR, I2R. Okay, sorry, R2 we should calculate if given condition is rotor current under running condition they have given as 60 ampere. Okay, so now let us calculate the fifth parameter here. Fifth parameter is the rotor resistance you should calculate. So rotor current during running condition I2R is 60 ampere, that is given, that to per phase value. Now rotor copper loss per phase, that is nothing but I2R whole square into R2. Those. Okay, so this is the I2R square R2. So I2R is already given. I2R during running condition is 60 square into R2 value you should calculate. So here rotor copper loss per phase, it is 733.0378. So this is rotor copper loss per phase. So this is 733.0378, that is equal to rotor current under running condition is 60 square into unknown parameter is the rotor resistance R2. So after solving this, R2 is equal to 733.0378 divided by 60 square, that is 3600 if you do. Finally, we will be getting rotor resistance per phase value as 0.2036 ohms per phase. So this is the rotor resistance per phase value. Okay. Now, let us see the next problem. So, the next problem is once again based on the losses and efficiency of three-phase induction motor. Now, see the problem statement here. A 25 kilowatt, 4-pole, three-phase 50 hertz induction motor, 50 hertz induction motor is running at 1410 rpm, 1410 rpm, supplying full load. The mechanical losses are 850 watts and stator losses are 1.7 times rotor copper losses on full load. Calculate first on gross mechanical power developed, that is PM, rotor copper loss, that is PC, then the value of the rotor resistance per phase if rotor current on full load per phase is 65 ampere. After that, we should also calculate the full load efficiency. We should also calculate full load efficiency value. Okay. So now let us write all the given parameters here. The given rating of the induction motor is 25 kilowatt, that too during full load condition, and shaft output power Pout is given. Okay, so this is nothing but the shaft output power Pout, that is equal to 25 kilowatt. Now calculate synchronous speed, ns is equal to 120 f by p. So frequency is 50 hertz and poles are 4. With this we'll be getting ns as 1500 rpm. And then speed of the induction motor, n value is given, that is n value is 1410 rpm. Now calculate the slip. Slip s is equal to ns minus n divided by ns. Okay, so ns is 1500 and n is nothing but 1410 divided by ns 1500. So with this we'll be getting slip value as 0.06. Okay, so now we will calculate p out. We know that p out is nothing but what, gross mechanical power minus friction loss or the mechanical losses. So that is, we are going to substitute all the values, then we'll be getting PM value. Okay, so PM minus mechanical losses is given as 850 watts. So mechanical losses already here it is given in the problem statement, it is 850 watts, and P out we have calculated, or it is given as 25 kilowatts. So this is P out, the P out is 25 kilowatt and mechanical loss is 850. So we will be getting what is that, gross mechanical power PM. So therefore, gross mechanical power after solving this, we'll be getting this first parameter, that is PM is equal to gross mechanical power, that is nothing but 25 kilowatt plus 850. This should take minus 850 on the other side. This will become plus 850. Then finally, the gross mechanical power will be 25,850 watts, or else it will be 25.85 kilowatts. Okay, this is the gross mechanical power. Now next, secondly we should calculate rotor copper losses, that is PC value. We know that P2 is to PC is to PM is 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. So using this formula, now we will take the ratio of PC by PM. PC by PM is nothing but 1 upon 1 minus S. So ratio of PC by PM, that is copper loss to the gross mechanical power PM, that is equal to S upon 1 minus S. So from this we want PC, that is copper rotor copper loss. So therefore PC is equal to S into PM upon 1 minus S. Okay. So now substitute all the values here. So already we have calculated PM as 25,850, slip is 0.06. Okay. So after solving, we'll be getting total copper loss of the three-phase induction motor is 1,650 watts. So this is the rotor copper loss. Then we should calculate the third parameter, the value of the rotor resistance per phase. If rotor current on full load, it takes 65 ampere per phase. So you should calculate R2, that is rotor resistance now. So I2R is given during running condition. I2R is 65 ampere, and we know that total copper loss of the three-phase induction motor, that's its formula is 3 into I2R square into R2. Okay, so now from this, just you need to calculate rotor resistance R2. So just you take out R2, then the expression becomes PC upon 3 into I2R square. So PC value is, rotor copper loss is 1650, and rotor current under running condition is 65. So on substituting and solving the expression, we will be getting rotor resistance R2 is equal to 0.13 ohms per phase. So this is the rotor resistance per phase. Next, after this, we should calculate the full load efficiency, P out by P in, we should calculate here. So now, in order to calculate the full load efficiency, we should calculate all the losses here. So first we will calculate stator losses. So say stator losses is equal to 1.7 into PC. Okay, 1.7 into PC. So 1.7 into 1650. So this is the PC value. Then we'll be getting stator losses as 2805 watts. Then we'll be calculating, this is the formula for stator loss, that is 1.7 we should take, and into PC. Then PC, that is rotor copper loss, PC is equal to S into P2. Right. From this I can write rotor copper, what is that? Rotor input P2 is equal to rotor copper loss PC upon slip S. So where PC is 1650, already we have calculated here. Then yes, slip value is already we have calculated as 0.06, 0.06, and then after this we'll be getting rotor input P2 as 27.5 kilowatt, or otherwise 27,500 watts. So now let us calculate the what is that P2 value. So after this we will calculate P in, not P2, P in we will calculate. Why? Because we know stator losses, we know rotor input, we don't know the input value, stator input, net input. Okay, so we know that from the power flow diagram of three-phase induction motor, P in minus stator losses is nothing but P2, because P2 is nothing but the rotor input. Rotor input is nothing but what? Total input minus stator losses. Okay, so now from this I can write P in is equal to P2, P in is equal to P in is equal to P2 plus stator losses, because if I take the stator losses on the other side, this will become plus. So finally stator losses, this is nothing but 2805 plus P2. P2 is nothing but the rotor input, which is nothing but 27,500. Okay, after solving we'll be getting the rotor input, sorry, total input to the induction motor P in is as 30,305 watts, 30,305 watts. So therefore finally the overall efficiency of the induction motor percentage eta is equal to P out by P in into 100, where P out is nothing but 25,000. This is the output of the induction motor rating of the machine, that is 25 kilowatt, 25,000 upon P in. P in is input to the machine is 30,305 multiplied with 100. Then you will be getting the percentage overall efficiency is as 82.49 percentage, 82.49 percentage. Okay, after this, now we will solve another problem based on efficiency, losses and efficiency of three-phase induction motor. So here given problem statement is, let us see, while delivering an useful power of 24 kilowatt to the full load, on of 24 kilowatt to the full load, a three-phase 50 Hz 8-pole induction motor draws a line current of 57 ampere. It runs at a speed of 720 rpm and it is connected to 415 volts supply. The power factor of the motor is observed to be 0.707, lagging, full stop. Then stator resistance per phase is zero point 0.1 ohms. Mechanical losses are 1000 watts, that is 1 kilowatt. With all this given information, you should calculate first shaft torque, second gross torque developed, third rotor copper losses, fourth stator copper losses, fifth stator iron losses, sixth overall efficiency. Assume stator star connected stator winding. So here stator connection winding connection is star type. Okay, so this is also once again VTU question which is asked for 10 marks. So now let us write all the given parameters here. Output of the induction motor is given as P out, that is 24 kilowatts. So 24, this is nothing but the P out of the induction motor. Line current drawn by the motor is 57 ampere. Poles P equal to 8. Speed of the induction motor N equal to 720 rpm. It is given. Frequency is given as 50 hertz, and line current, line voltage, it is not IL, this is VL. This is VL. Okay, line voltage VL is equal to 415 volts. Then power factor is 0.707, lagging because this is inductive load. Okay, now with all this given information, with all this given information, now let us calculate the synchronous speed. Ns is equal to 120 f by p, where frequency is 50 and poles are 8. With this we'll be getting ns value as 750 rpm. Now let us calculate slip. S is equal to ns minus n divided by ns, where ns is 750 and speed of the induction motor n is 720. So we'll be getting slip value as 0.04. Okay, so now let us draw the power flow diagram. So input is P in, that is root 3 VLL cos pi. So this is stator and this is the rotor. So stator will be having certain stator losses, which is nothing but stator iron and copper loss. Then after that we'll be getting rotor input, that is P2. Once again in the rotor there will be the losses, that is rotor copper loss, and then we'll be getting the gross mechanical power PM. And this gross mechanical power via the shaft, it will be having certain losses, that is nothing but the mechanical losses, which is having 1000 watt. And finally the output of the induction motor P out is 24 kilowatt, which is available to the load. Okay, so this is all about the power flow diagram what we have shown here. This is stator and this is the rotor, and in between whatever energy conversion it is there, that is P in, P2, PM, P out, and rest of the losses information we should represent here. Okay, so now from this power flow diagram we can write that this P out is equal to PM minus mechanical losses. P out is equal to PM. P out is equal to PM minus mechanical losses. Okay. So now therefore gross mechanical power PM, this can also be written as P out plus mechanical losses, where P out is nothing but the efficiency rating of the induction motor, that is 24 kilowatt, that is 24 into 10 raised to 3, plus mechanical losses is 1 kilowatt or 1000, that is equal to 25 kilowatt will be the gross mechanical power. And we know that for rotor, P2 is to PC is to PM is 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. So now using this, I can write P ratio of PC by PM, rotor copper loss divided by gross mechanical power is equal to slip upon 1 minus slip. Okay, so from this, if you make the cross multiplication, therefore PC is equal to PM into S upon 1 minus S. So substitute all the values. PM is 25 kilowatt, slip is 0.04. With this, we'll be getting rotor copper loss as 1041.66 watts. 1041.66 watts. Okay, so now let us calculate the required parameters. So the first parameter we should calculate here is the shaft torque. Okay, so then gross torque, then rotor copper loss, then stator copper loss, then stator loss, finally overall efficiency. Okay, all these five parameters we should calculate here. First we will calculate shaft torque. Shaft torque TSH is nothing but P out by omega, where P out is nothing but 24 kilowatt divided by omega 2 pi n by 60, where speed is to 720 and P out is 24 kilowatt. With this, we'll be getting shaft torque TSH as 318.309 Newton meter. Okay, the second parameter we should calculate here is the gross torque, that is T is equal to Pm by omega, where Pm is the gross mechanical power divided by omega is 2 pi n by 60. So gross mechanical power here is 25 kilowatt, that is 25 to 10 raised to 3. Upon speed here, n value is 720. So after substituting and solving, we will be getting gross torque value as 331.572 Newton meter. Okay, then we should calculate the third parameter. Third parameter here we should calculate, that is nothing but the stator iron losses. And in order to calculate the stator iron losses, all these are the steps necessary to calculate. That is, firstly we'll be calculating here rotor copper loss, that is already we have calculated, that is 1041.66. Already we have calculated rotor copper loss is 1041.66. Then taking the ratio of P2 by PC. P2 means 100% input. PC is slip times of the losses. That is P2 by PC ratio. That is from P2 is to PC is to PM. That is equal to 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. Using that formula, if I take the ratio of P2 by PC, then it will be 1 upon S. From this, I can write rotor input P2 is equal to PC upon S. PC upon S, where S is 1 upon 0.04 and PC rotor copper loss is 1041.66. Then we'll be getting rotor input, that is 26,041.5 watts. And now in order to calculate the net input power, Pin is equal to root 3 VLIL cos pi. Root 3, where line voltage is 415, line current drawn by the induction motor is 57 ampere, and power factor is 0.707 lagging. So with this we'll be getting induction motor input Pin net input power is of 28,966.96 watts. After this, let us calculate the stator per phase current, that is IL, that is equal to 57 ampere. It is already given in the problem statement, and it is also given that stator winding connection is star connected. So in the star connection, line current will be is equal to phase current. So IL is equal to IPH, that is equal to 57 ampere. Okay. And now stator resistance per phase, this is also given as 0.1 ohms. So therefore, stator copper loss is 3 times of Is square into Rs. That is 3 times of I square R. Here I is nothing but the stator current, which will be Is square into Rs. Is square is nothing but I 57 square, and the stator resistance is 0.1 ohm. So after solving, we will be getting stator copper loss as 974.7 watts. Now we will make use of the formula, that is what is that, P in minus stator loss is equal to P2. P in minus stator loss is equal to P2. So where net input is 28,966.96, stator losses is unknown, and rotor input P2 is already calculated as P2 is 26,041.5. Okay, so from this stator losses, if you calculate, then you will be getting 20, as the answer as 2925.46 watts. So this is the stator losses. Okay, but we know that stator loss is nothing but what? It is the combination of iron plus copper losses. Therefore, stator losses is equal to stator iron loss plus stator copper loss, where stator loss is totally 2925.46. That is equal to stator iron loss is unknown, and also we have calculated the stator copper loss. Stator copper loss as 974 point, stator copper loss value is 974.7 watts. So this stator copper loss information is 974.7. So from this I can calculate stator iron loss. Stator iron loss is equal to 2925.46 minus 974.7. Then the answer will be 1950.76 watts. So this is the stator iron loss. Okay. Then after that, we should calculate for the stator copper loss. Stator copper loss already we have calculated. So stator copper loss is already 974.7 watts. So this is the fourth parameter. Fifth parameter we should calculate for the stator iron losses. Stator iron loss is nothing but 1950.76. So from the third step information, whatever we are solving, we are getting the information regarding stator copper loss for the fourth parameter and stator iron loss for the fifth parameter. Then finally, if you calculate the efficiency of the motor, then percentage eta is equal to P out by P in into 100, where P out is 24 kilowatt. This is the rating of the induction motor, and P in, that is already we have calculated P in value as P in is nothing but 28,966.96 in 200. Then overall efficiency of the induction motor is 82.85 percentage. Okay, 82.85 percentage. So similar to this kind of problems, you should practice it. Okay, then after this we will solve one more problem based on the losses and efficiency of the induction motor. So here this is also one of the important numerical problem which is frequently asked for so many in a number of times. So let us see the problem on the losses and efficiency of three-phase induction motor. Here the problem statement is a 6-pole 50 hertz three-phase induction motor running on full load with 4% slip develops a torque of 149.3 Newton meter at its pulley rim. The friction and windage losses are 200 watts, and the stator and iron losses are equal to 1620 watts. Calculate first one output power, second one rotor copper loss, third one, efficiency at full load. So this is also one of the important VTU question which is asked for so many number of times. Now let us write all the given parameters. So let us see the solution here. Given shaft torque TSH is given as 149.3 Newton meter, and number of poles is P equal to 6, frequency F equal to 50 Hertz, and given slip is equal to 4%, that is 0.04. With this we'll be calculating synchronous speed ns is equal to 120 F by P. Then F you can take it as 50 hertz, at poles you can take it as 6, then the ns will be 1000 rpm. Now let us calculate speed of the induction motor. N is equal to ns into 1 minus s using slip formula, where ns is 1000 and slip is 0.04. This with this we'll be getting speed of the induction motor n value as 960 rpm. So first we'll calculate the parameter p out. So that is nothing but output power. Output power we know that tsh into omega, where tsh is already given as 149.3 into omega 2 pi n by 60, where n value is 960. So after substituting we'll be getting p out value as 15.0092 kilowatts. So this is p out. After this we'll calculate the gross mechanical power. So sorry, we should calculate the total copper loss. Total copper loss means 3 times of I2 r square r2. Okay, so in order to calculate that, we will calculate the gross mechanical power. Pm is equal to p out plus frictional losses, where p out is 15,009.2 already we have calculated, plus frictional losses. Frictional losses means mechanical losses. It is given as 200 watts. So 200 watts. So therefore gross mechanical power is 15,209.2 watts. Okay, now after using the formula, that is P2 is to PC is to PM as 1 is to S is to 1 minus S, then the ratio of PC by PM is equal to S upon 1 minus S. From this, the total rotor copper loss is equal to PC, that is equal to S into PM, S into PM upon 1 minus S. So where PM value already we have calculated, that is 15,209.2 into slip value is 0.04. So substituting and solving, will be getting total rotor copper loss PC is equal to 633.7166 watts. So this is the total rotor copper loss. After this we need to calculate for the efficiency at full load. So now let us calculate the rotor input P2. P2 is equal to PC upon S, where PC is the value of PC is 633.7166 and S value is 0.04. Then we'll be getting then we'll be getting rotor input P2 value as 15,842.9167 watts. Then after this we'll be calculating net input. Net input is nothing but what? Pin. Pin is equal to rotor output, stator output P2 plus stator output P2, or it is rotor input P2 plus stator losses, where P2 is 15,842.91 67 plus stator losses. Stator losses already it is given as 1,600. The stator copper and iron losses are 1,620. It is already given in the problem statement. So the stator losses will be 1,620. Finally, we will be getting net power input Pin is equal to 17,462.916 watts. So this is the Pin. Therefore, finally, we will be calculating efficiency of the induction motor. Percentage eta is equal to P out by P in into 100, where P out is 15,209.2 divided by P in is 17,642.916 into 100. Then we'll be getting efficiency as 87.9094 percentage. 87.094 percentage. Okay, now let us see another problem based on the losses and efficiency of three-phase induction motor. Okay, so this is also one of the important problem which is asked for 10 marks in the VTU. Let us see the problem statement here. A 25 HP 6 core 50 Hz induction slip ring induction motor runs at 960 rpm on full load with rotor current of 35 ampere, allowing 250 watts for copper loss in the short circuit gear and 1000 watts for mechanical losses. Find the resistance per phase of the three-phase rotor winding. So this is the problem based on three-phase induction motor losses and efficiency. Now let us write all the given parameters. P is a number of poles P equal to 6, then frequency F equal to 50 Hertz, speed of the induction motor is 960, and rotor current during running condition I2R is 35 ampere, and output of the induction motor P out is what is that? P out is 25 HP. 25 HP. Then mechanical losses they have given as 1000 rpm. So now let us calculate the synchronous speed ns. Synchronous speed ns is equal to 120 f by p, where frequency is 50 and poles are 6. Then we'll be getting ns as 1000 rpm using slip formula. Just you calculate the slip value here. So where s is equal to ns minus n upon ns. Ns value is 1000, and 1000 and n value is 960. Then with this we'll be getting slip value as 0.04. Now we will be calculating for gross mechanical power developed. We know that Pm is equal to P out plus mechanical losses plus copper loss in the short circuiting gear. Okay, so therefore Pm is equal to, after solving all this formula, Pm is equal to P out. P out is 25 HP. Convert this in terms of watts, that is 25 into 735.5. This is nothing but the P out in terms of kilowatts, plus mechanical loss is 1000 and copper loss in short circuiting area is 250. So so we'll be getting the PM value. After solving, we'll be getting PM value, and we know that to convert HP to the watts, so 1 HP is equal to 735.5 watts. This information you should take, and after solving, we'll be getting PM value as 19,637.5 watts. So 19,637.5 watts is nothing but the gross mechanical power PM. Okay, now using the formula P2 is to PC is to, P2 is to PC is to PM, that is 1 is to 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. If we take the ratio of, if we take the ratio of PC by PM is equal to S upon 1 minus S. PC by PM is equal to S upon 1 minus S. From this, the rotor copper loss PC is equal to S into PM upon 1 minus S. So where S is 0.04 and gross mechanical power developed PM is 19,637.5, and on solving we'll be getting total rotor copper loss as 818.2291 watts. So this is the total rotor copper loss. Okay, now here the statement given is the copper loss is taking place in the winding due to resistance R to R. Copper loss in the winding, that is total PC minus copper loss in the short circuiting gear. So here this is the total copper loss, but here they also have given the information regarding copper loss in the short circuiting in the shorting gear. In the shorting gear they have given, so you should deduct this copper loss in the shorting gear, then we'll be getting the total copper loss in the winding itself. So therefore copper loss in the winding is equal to total PC minus copper loss in the shorting gear, where total copper loss is 818.2291, what we have calculated just now, minus the information regarding copper loss in the shorting gear as 250. So with this we'll be getting copper loss in the winding as 568.2291 watts. So this is the total copper loss in all the three windings. If we want per phase value, then copper loss per phase is 568.2291 divided by 3. Then the answer will be 189.4097 watts. Okay, so this is the copper loss per phase. So therefore copper loss per phase value is, this can also be calculated as I2R square R2, I2R square into R2, where copper loss per phase information is 189.4097 and rotor current under running condition is given as 35 ampere. Then with this we'll be calculating rotor resistance R2. So finally if you solve this expression, then we'll be getting rotor resistance R2 value as 0.1546 ohms. That is rotor resistance per phase value will be 0.1546 ohms. Okay, so these are all the problems based on the losses and efficiency of three-phase induction motor. You can solve still many other problems based on this, where I will be posting the related material, and you can check that material, you can practice the problems so that you will become perfect. Now we will move to the problems based on equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Problems related to the equivalent circuit of induction motor. Okay, problems on three-phase induction motor equivalent circuit. Okay, the problem statement given here is a 440 volts 3 phase 8 pole 50 hertz 40 kilowatt star connected 3 phase induction motor has the following parameters. Given thing is stator resistance equal to zero point 0.1 ohms, stator reactance, this is R1, that is zero point 0.1 ohms, stator reactance X1 given as zero point 0.4 ohms, equivalent rotor resistance referred to stator, that is R1E value will be 0.15 ohms. Then equivalent rotor reactance referred to stator means it is X1E, that is 0.44 ohms. Then the core loss. The stator core loss is 1250 watts, while mechanical loss is 1000 watts. Full stop. It draws a no load current of 20 ampere. So current around the induction motor is 20 ampere at a power factor of 0.09 lagging, while running at a speed of 727.5 rpm. Calculate first one, line input line current and power factor, then torque developed, then output power, then efficiency, and then after all calculating all these parameters, we should draw the equivalent circuit, and you need to substitute all the values there. Okay, so use approximate equivalent circuit. This is the hint given to solve this problem. So this is also one of the important VTO problem which is asked for 10 marks. Okay, and this is based on equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Problem on equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Now let us see the solution part for this. So this is the approximate equivalent circuit where the magnetizing branch which will be appearing at the center here, this is shifted to the left side or the source side. Okay, after doing that, all the resistances like stator resistance, then stator equivalent resistance refer to the stator side, equivalent resistance refer to the stator side, that is R2 dash or R1e. This will be everything, they will be appearing on the, what is that, they will be appearing in the series form, R1 plus R2 dash, similarly X1 plus X2 dash. So this all things will appear in the series, and this will become easy for us to solve the problem here. And mechanical load formula, RL dash is equal to R2 dash into 1 minus S upon S, and this is the magnetizing branch, and this is the input voltage, that is stator voltage V1, stator current I1, no load current I0, no load resistance R0, no load reactance X0. All these are related to the magnetizing branch. And rotor current during running condition referred to the stator side is I dash 2R. R1 is the stator resistance, X1 is the stator reactance, R2 dash is the rotor resistance referred to the stator side, X2 is the stator resistance, sorry, rotor reactance referred to the stator side, and RL dash is the mechanical load referred to the this RL dash is nothing but the mechanical load electrical equivalent referred to the stator side. Okay, and here the note given is, note in equivalent circuit all values are per phase, so all these are the per phase values. Okay, so this is the approximate equivalent circuit of the three phase induction motor. Now let us see the solution here. In equivalent circuit, all values are per phase. Now ns value is what, formula is 120 f by p. So substitute with the information regarding frequency and the poles. Frequency is 50 hertz, frequency is 50 hertz, and poles are 8. So after substituting f as 50 and poles p as 8, then synchronous speed ns will be 750 rpm. Using this we'll solve on the slip s is equal to ns minus n upon ns, where ns is 750 and speed of the induction motor during running condition it is given as 727.5 rpm. Then with this slip s is equal to 0.03. Now we know that mechanical loads electrical equivalent refer to the stator side. Its formula is RL dash. It is denoted as RL dash, and its formula is R2 dash into 1 minus S upon S, where R2 dash is nothing but the rotor resistance refer to the stator side. So this is given already. R2 dash, this is nothing but the stator rotor resistance refer to the stator side as 0.15. This is given in the problem statement. S is 0.03, and solving RL dash value will be 4.85 ohms. So the mechanical loads electrical equivalent for information is 4.85 ohms. Then stator line voltage is 440. Convert this line voltage to the phase voltage. So V1 is equal to VL by root 3. That is VL, that is 440 by root 3. It will be 254.034 volts per phase. Okay, then let us calculate the rotor current during running condition, that to refer to the stator side. I dash 2R is equal to the formula is stator voltage V1 divided by equivalent resistance referred to the stator side, that is R1e, plus mechanical load referred to the stator side, that is RL dash, plus J times of equivalent reactance X1e. Okay, where R1 is equal to R1 plus R2 dash. R1 is 0.1 and R2 dash is 0.15. So equivalent resistance of the induction motor referred to the stator side is 0.25 ohms. Equivalent reactance referred to the stator side of the induction motor is X1 equal to X1 plus X2 dash, where X1 is 0.4 and X2 dash is 0.44. This all information is given in the problem statement in the beginning itself. So X1 is 0.84 ohms. Now let us calculate rotor current during running condition, that to refer to the stator side, that is I dash 2R is equal to E to stator voltage divided by stator voltage divided by this formula denominator part. So substitute V1 as 250 254.034, R1 is 0.25, RL dash 4.85, X1 is 0.84. So solve this expression using the uh, polar form method of solving the problem. Then we will be getting this answer as 49.1484. This is the magnitude of the rotor current referred to the stator side, and its phase angle is minus 9.352 0.29 amperes, where this is the phase angle, minus it is because inductive load. And if you want to convert this complex this polar form into the complex form, then the answer will be 48.495 minus j times of 7.9873, where 48.495 is the real part and j times 7.9873, this is the imaginary part. That too information expressed in terms of the rectangular form, and this is the polar form. Okay, so now let us calculate the, here our aim is just to calculate all the required electrical parameters related to the equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Now let us calculate the rest of the parameters. So given no load current I naught is 20 ampere at a power factor, no load power factor 0.09 lagging. So if this is the case, if I want to express in terms of polar form, magnitude is 20 and angle is cos inverse of 0.09, it will be you should take the angle here. Angle will be what? Cos inverse of 0.09. Since it is lagging, so here we are taking minus sign for the lagging power factor. So cos inverse of 0.09 is 84.83 degrees. So this is the phase shift angle. Since it is inductive load, so we are taking minus sign here. So convert this polar form into rectangular form, that will be 1.8 minus j 19.9188 ampere. So this is the no load current of the three-phase induction motor. Now stator current I1 is equal to, we know that no load current I naught plus I dash 2R. I dash 2R is the reflected stator current, I dash 2R. Okay, so now I naught is 1.8 minus j 19 point, since it is addition, since here operator is addition, so we should consider rectangular form values. So rectangular form values means real and imaginary part. Real part is 1.8 minus j 19.9188 plus reflected stator current I dash 2R. Its real part is 48.495 and its real imaginary part is minus j 7.9873. So after solving real part and imaginary part, we'll be getting stator current I1 is equal to 50.295 minus j times of 27.9061 ampere, or else if you convert this into the polar form, magnitude will be 57.518 at an angle of minus 29.02 ampere. So this is in the I1 stator current in the polar form, and this is in terms of the rectangular form. Now let us calculate the asked parameters one by one. So the first parameter is, we should calculate the first parameter here, that is the first parameter is input line current. IL we have to calculate. Okay, IL we should calculate here. So in order to calculate IL, so input current is equal to already we have calculated I1 in terms of polar form. Polar form magnitude is 57.518. So this will be the line current. Input line current is equal to 57.518. Since the induction motor it is connected in the star fashion, so line current will be equal to phase current. So IL is equal to IPH is equal to 57.518 ampere. Then its power factor is, input power factor is equal to cos pi. Cos pi is cos of pi. Power factor angle is minus 29.02 because it is inductive load. So cos inverse of so cos of minus 29.02, this is whole thing is pi, power factor angle. So cos of minus 29.02, this will be 0.8744 lagging. So this is the power factor of the induction motor which is lagging, that is 0.8744 lagging. And then this is the first parameter. After this, we should calculate the second parameter, that is torque developed, third parameter output power, fourth parameter efficiency. Okay, so now in order to calculate the second parameter, that is torque developed, the procedure what we are following here is torque T is equal to, it is given by the formula power P by omega. T is nothing but P by omega, where power P is nothing but, this is the uh, PC value. PC value, that is 3 times of, PC is nothing but rotor copper loss, that is 3 times of I dash 2R square R2 dash upon S upon omega S. Omega S is nothing but 2 pi ns by 60. So we know all the parameters. We know I dash 2R, this is the rotor current referred to the stator side, that is 49.1484. Then R2 dash, that is rotor current rotor resistance referred to the stator side, that is 0.15. Then slip value is 0.03 and synchronous speed ns value is 750. Substitute all the values, then you will be getting the torque value as 461.3389 Newton meter. Okay, so this is the second parameter. Then third parameter what we have to calculate is the total output. Total output, if you want to calculate, we know that rotor input P2 is equal to rotor copper loss PC upon S, where rotor copper loss is given by the formula 3 times of I dash 2R square into R2 dash. So substitute all the values. So I dash 2R is 49.1484. This already we have calculated, and R2 dash is given as 0.15. R2 dash is given as 0.15, and S value is slip is 0.03. So with this we'll be getting rotor input P2 as 36,233.4783 watts. Okay, so this is nothing but the rotor input. Okay, so now using the formula P2 is to PC is to PM as 1 is to S is to 1 minus S, if I take the ratio of P2 by PM, that is rotor input to the gross mechanical power, it will be like 1 upon 1 minus S. P2 upon PM, if I take the ratio, then it will be equal to 1 upon 1 minus S. P2 by PM is equal to 1 upon 1 minus S. So from this gross mechanical power PM, if you take the cross multiplication, PM is equal to P2 into 1 minus S. P2 into n minus S, where S is what? Slip, that is 0.03, 0.03. Make the correction, it is simply 0.03. And P2, the value of the P2 is rotor input. Rotor input is 36,233.4783. So now the gross mechanical power, it will be 35,146.474 watts. So this is the gross mechanical power. Finally, let us calculate the total output. So total output is nothing but what? This is the PM minus mechanical loss. So PM is nothing but the gross mechanical power, that is 35,146.474, and mechanical losses are 1 kilowatt or 1000, that is equal to 34,146.474 watts is the total output. So this is the total output information. Finally, if I want to calculate the efficiency information, find the total losses. So total losses means core loss, mechanical loss, everything we need to calculate here. So first we'll be calculating core loss or the iron losses, that is already given as 1250 watts. Mechanical losses is 1000 watts. So therefore total copper loss is nothing but for all the three phases, it will be 3 times of I dash 2R square into R1E, because here it is the resistance of stator as well as rotor side. So in order to club both those things, we should take R1E. R1E is nothing but the equivalent resistance of the induction motor referred to the stator side. It is already given. Okay, so 3 times of I dash 2R square into R1E. This gives us total copper loss. Total copper loss means copper loss of stator along with rotor, that is nothing but stator plus rotor copper loss. 3 into where I dash 2R is 49.1484 square into R1E value is 0.25. So after this we'll be getting total copper losses as 1811.674 watts. So this is the total copper loss. Therefore we know that efficiency P out by P in into 100, where P out is already 34,146, where total P out value is 34,146.474, and P in is nothing but what? Output plus total losses. So output is once again 34,146.474 plus total loss. Total loss means it includes core loss, mechanical loss, and copper losses. So core loss is or the iron loss is 1250, mechanical loss is 1000 watts, and finally total copper loss is 1811.674. Add 1250, that is 1250 plus 1000 plus 1811.6674 along with the P out, then we'll be getting total input, that is P in, and after solving we'll be getting efficiency of the induction motor as 89.36%. 89.36 percentage. Okay, so this is all about the problems based on equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Now similarly there are so many other problems based on the equivalent circuit diagram. You can solve it. Then we'll solve one more problem based on the equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Okay, now all these are the different types of the problems based on equivalent circuit. Now we'll solve one more problem based on, and here moreover we are going to make use of the mathematics operation, that is conversion of the information from polar to rectangular likewise. Okay, so that we should be familiar. uh, Okay, now we will see the next problem. So the next problem, once again, it is based on equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Okay, so the problem statement here is, this is also the problem which is asked in the VTU for 6 marks. Okay, the problem statement here is a three-phase 400 volts 50 hertz 4-pole star connected induction motor has stator impedance of Z1 equal to 0.07 plus J 0.3 ohms per phase, and rotor impedance of Z2 dash, that is rotor impedance referred to the stator side, that is 0.08 plus J 0.3 ohms per phase referred to the stator side. The magnetizing reactance is 10 ohms per phase and core reactance is 50 ohms per phase. Under these conditions, the slip is found to be 4%. Using approximate equivalent circuit, calculate first one stator current and second one, stator current along with that power factor, and secondly you should calculate torque developed. So this is also the problem based on equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. And once again here, this is the VTU asked numerical problem for 6 marks. So here in order to calculate the asked parameters, so here first we are going to draw the approximate equivalent circuit that to refer to the stator side, where this is the stator voltage V1, stator current I1, magnetizing branch parameters I0, R0, X0, and then stator resistance R1, stator reactance X1, and then rotor resistance referred to the stator side as R2 dash, rotor reactance referred to the stator side as X2 dash, and this is the mechanical load. Okay, that is RL dash is equal to R2 dash into 1 minus S upon S, which is given as 1.92 ohms, which is also it is also given as 1.92 ohms. Is it but no, afterwards we need to calculate it. Okay, so here after drawing the equivalent circuit diagram, finally you should substitute all the values. Okay, now let us calculate the parameters. R1E. R1 is nothing but the equivalent reactance of the induction motor referred to the stator side, where R1 is equal to R1 plus R2 dash, where R1 is 0.15 ohms, where R1 is 0.15 ohms, and then X1 is equivalent reactance of the induction motors referred to the stator side. X1 is equal to X1 plus X2 dash, where X1 it is already given as 0.6 ohms. Okay, so now V1 is the stator line voltage. Convert this to the phase voltage. So V1 is equal to V1 PH equal to VL by root 3. 400 by root 3 is 230.94 volts per phase. Okay, now rotor current referred to the stator side during running condition, that is I dash 2R is equal to, formula is stator voltage V1 upon R1E plus RL dash plus J times of X1E. So substitute all the values. So V1 is 230.94, this is the phase voltage. R1E it is given calculated as 0.15, RL dash this is the mechanical load, electrical equivalent form, this is 1.92, and then we should calculate for what is that, jx1 is 0.6. So here first of all we should calculate for the RL dash value. So okay, so in order to calculate the RL dash we should calculate ns and n. So first we'll calculate the required parameters. Ns is what? Ns is the synchronous speed given by the formula 120 f by p, where frequency is 50 and number of poles is 4. So 50 and 120 into 50 by 4, the speed synchronous speed ns will be 1500 rpm. And with this if we calculate the slip, s is equal to ns minus n divided by ns. So using that we should calculate the slip value. And now the slip value after calculating will be, sorry, already slip is given here, no need to calculate the slip. uh, the slip value is 0.04, that is 4%, means slip s is equal to 0.04. So now using this information, calculate the mechanical load referred to the stator side, that is RL dash is given by the formula R2 dash into 1 minus S upon S. So R2 dash is how much? R2 dash value, it is already given, R1E plus R2 dash combined value they have given. So that R2 dash value we have to substitute here, then S value you have to take it as 0.04, then we'll be getting mechanical load value as 1.92. So this is the mechanical loads electrical equivalent form value is 1.92. Okay, so now here substituting the values of all those things, then next RL dash value substitute as 1.92, then x1e this is already given as 0.6. So on solving we'll be getting the rotor current under running condition, that to refer to the stator side as in the polar form 107.1547 at an angle of minus 16.164 ampere, and in the rectangular form the answer will be 102.918 minus j 29.83. So remember, whenever the operation is division multiplication, consider the polar form operation, and if the operator is addition or subtraction, consider the rectangular form values. This already you are familiar. Okay, and now let us calculate the no load current I naught. I naught is nothing but what? Stator voltage divided by, it is the parallel combination of R naught and X naught. It is the parallel combination. So because here I naught is what? This no load current I naught is equal to stator voltage V1 divided by parallel combination of R naught and X naught, R naught and JX naught. Okay, the parallel combination means R naught into JX naught divided by R naught plus JX naught. This, in this way we should take the formulas. Okay, so I naught is equal to V1 upon R naught parallel to jx naught. So where v1 is nothing but the stator phase voltage, that is 230.94. R naught value is 50 and j x naught value, all substitute all those values, j x naught divided by r naught plus j x naught. So this is multiplication means polar form, and if it is addition means it is rectangular form. This already I have explained here. And now after solving this, then we'll be getting what? No load current I naught. So therefore no load current I naught is equal to 23.5512 at an angle of 78.69 ampere. This is in terms of polar form, and in the rectangular form it will be 4.6188 minus j 23.0938 ampere. This is in the rectangular form, having real and imaginary parts. Okay, so this thing all you should calculate in the beginning. Now let us calculate the first parameter, that is stator current. Stator current is nothing but no load current plus reflected rotor current. Okay, that is I dash to R, where I naught is not, since the operator here is addition, so consider rectangular values. So rectangular value of the I naught, rectangular value of the I naught is 4.6188 minus J 23.0938. Same value, this value you take, this is nothing but I naught, and I dash to R, I dash to R, its rectangular form is I 102.918 minus J 29.83. So this value you should take here, because operator is addition, so take rectangular, what is that, rectangular values. So now here in this case, just add the real part and imaginary part. 102.918 plus 4.6188, add these two, then similarly add the imaginary parts. So on adding say, real and imaginary parts separately, then we'll be getting stator current in the form of rectangular form, it is 107.5368 minus j 52.9238 ampere, and in the polar form it will be 119.8544 at an angle of minus 26.204 ampere. So this is the stator current. So if I want to calculate the stator power factor, so consider the stator current polar form, where this is the magnitude and this is the phase angle, and this is the phase angle which gives us the information related to the, this is the information related to the power factor angle. So cos of this is power factor angle, that is minus 26.204 is nothing but the power factor angle. So if I take cosine of the minus 26.204, then this gives us stator power factor. So therefore stator power factor is equal to cos of minus 26.204, that will be 0.8972 lagging, because it is inductive load. Okay, so this is the stator current and stator power factor. Finally we should calculate the torque. So torque is nothing but what, power divided by omega. So here power is nothing but the P2, that is P2 divided by omega yes. Okay, so now here power is nothing but 3 times of I dash 2R square R2 dash by S divided by 2 pi n s by 60. So this is nothing but what, completely power information. Divided by S means it is PC. We know that P2 is to PC is to PM. Just you should use this formula. P2 is to PC is to PM, that is equal to, if 100% is the input, that is P2, then slip times of the, and that will be copper, rotor copper loss PC, and 1 minus S times of the P2 will be the gross mechanical power. So using this formula here we have written all these things. So this PC is equal to what, PC is equal to slip times of, from this I can write, if I take the ratio of P2 by PC, just to take the ratio of P2 by PC, ratio of rotor input upon rotor copper loss P2 upon PC is equal to, it will be 1 upon S, 1 upon S. So here I can say that PC is equal to, P2 by PC is equal to 1 upon S. If you cross multiply, then if you cross multiply, then PC is equal to what, S times of P2, S times of P2, or else rotor input P2 is equal, P2 will be equal to what, rotor input P2 will be equal to what, rotor copper loss PC upon slip S, PC upon slip S. So now this PC value is nothing but the I dash 2R square into R2 dash divided by S is nothing but the slip. So this is all together, this whole formula, it belongs to the P2, 3 times of P2. Okay, P2 is what, PC upon S, where PC is I dash 2R square into R2 dash, upon S is nothing but the slip. So this is altogether power information divided by 2 pi ns, because this P2 will be getting at a speed of rotating magnetic field, which is nothing but the flux created by the stator on giving the power supply, which is running at the synchronous speed ns. So we should consider what is that, synchronous speed followed by the synchronous angular, what is that, angular speed. synchronous angular speed omega s. So the speed here it will be ns now. So omega s will be 2 pi ns by 60. So substitute all the values. 3 into I dash 2r is 107.1547 whole square into r2 dash is 0.08 and slip is 0.04 and synchronous speed is 1500. So after simplifying this expression, we'll be getting torque value as 438.585 Newton meter. Okay, so this is the problem based on equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Similar kind of problems they are given here. Just you can solve the remaining problems. Okay, these are all the problems based on equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motors. All these are the important problems which will be asked in the final weightage exam, that might be based on the losses and efficiency of the induction motor, or else it might be based on the equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor, which will be asked for 8 marks, 10 marks, 6 marks, depending upon the parameters you need to calculate. Okay, so just you solve all the problems based on the numerical, based on the three-phase induction motors losses efficiency as well as equivalent circuit of three-phase induction motor. Okay.